Clint with Lad's Trucking Diaries. We are currently in Dyersburg, Tennessee at the Loves. I once spent 8 hours in the parking lot here trying to knock a drive shaft out after I lost a U-joint. But what we really want to talk about this morning is, being that it's Freedom Friday, and I kind of let loose on Freedom Fridays. Last week we talked about truck parking. Now there's a kind of a lack of. But what I did not cover is the fact that there's a lot of entitled truck drivers that believe they ought to be able to park anywhere that they want or darn well please. Just a quick glance around the parking lot. I know my window's dirty. You can see the parking area is pretty well full, except for the end down there. There's trucks parked over right on the other side of the scale. There's a truck parked next to the shop. Look down along the road here. See trucks parked all along the road. Even though there's signs up all along the entry road saying no parking, there's trucks that park there overnight, so can't quite tell because there's a truck parked next to me. There's times I've come in here and there have been 2 or 3 wide through there. The 2 trucks parked over by the scale. That's kind of like a passage zone. They shouldn't be parked there. The truck next to the shop, he might be waiting for work or something. Can't really say much there. But there are a lot of truck drivers who believe that they should be entitled to go parking, more or less in your neighborhood grocery store or, any place big enough to fit a truck in. Now, I get that, if you deliver, say, to a local IGA or something like that, or, a local grocery store or a hardware store or something like that, out of courtesy, yeah, I would agree they should have, they got the room, they should accommodate the truck driver delivering their goods. But there's other factors that come into play, like city ordinances or, just the overall parking situation in the place, or maybe it could be a higher crime rate area or something. And they're kind of looking out for the truck driver. Heck, let's bring up Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is known for not allowing commercial trucks on their property whatsoever. Bobtail, truck, trailer, whatever. They don't want trucks on their property. Well, down hard. I guess the cold truth is, some of y'all truck drivers is nasty. You go around truck stop parking lot. I watched a guy yesterday. I walk out of the Lowe's after getting my lunch. He walks around the front of his truck. He's parked along the road right across from the entrance store. He gets out of his truck, walks around the front of his truck, walks over to the other side, whips it out, and starts taking a whiz. That's why you're not allowed to park at places. They don't want you around. They don't want you throwing your trash out on the ground. They don't want leaving feces on the ground, throwing out your urine bottles. They don't want you standing out in front of their place taking a whiz out in public, It kind of leaves a scar on their image. And I can't count the times I've walked around truck stops, or, when I had Sally on the truck with me, get out to walk her, and, your grassy area just be littered with trash, pallet debris, trash, urine bottles, feces bags, feces in general. You know what it's like stepping in man chocolate? It ain't very fun. And a lot of these entitled truck drivers believe, they should be able to park at your local grocery store, but they don't have any means, if nature strikes in the middle of the night. So these guys think they should be able to park in your grocery store parking lot, go slide up underneath their trailer, take a dump, because they can't go inside. Well, I guess the grocery store ought to leave the doors unlocked so the truck driver can go in there and use the bathroom, I guess. Now, let's not talk about CDL discounts. These guys believe they should, get CDL discounts everywhere they go. And I know prices in truck stops are higher than they ought to be. They're definitely price gouging at truck stops. But I don't mean you ought to get a discount. Pay their price, everybody else has to pay it. You ain't nothing special. Truth be told, I think the self-entitlement got way worse after COVID. And that's more falling onto the normal civilian people type from going out of their way and, making truck drivers feel special for a little bit. They take a little bit and they think they need to run with it all the way. A lot of these guys, you pull into a place and they want to charge you park. But you watch these guys, they'll flock into any place with parking. They take up a parking lot and not go in and spend a penny. But they don't stop and think about, well, you go to some of these smaller mom and pop places, they're dependent on you to spend money. Whether they got a restaurant in there or you just go in and buy you a soda or, whatever, buy fuel or something. They're expecting you to spend money. That's how they keep their doors open. When they run out of money, they close down. And a lot of times, either they completely block the parking lot off because they don't want nobody getting hurt on their property and, suing them. Or two, they just completely abandon the place and the parking lot becomes so deteriorated that you couldn't drive a, Bigfoot through it. I mean, that's just a cold, hard truth. And some of these guys, they expect, to go to play. Everywhere they go, they expect somebody to just let them go and use the bathroom. I understand. I get upset if I go in somewhere and say, hey, can I use your bathroom? And they say, no, we don't allow truck drivers to use our bathroom. Well, that's kind of discriminating, in my opinion. But I understand also. I couldn't tell you. I mean, it kind of turns my stomach thinking about some of the stuff I've seen in the bathrooms. And I can tell you those truck drivers that did it. I don't think I'd want truck drivers in my bathroom either because some of y'all nasty. I still wonder how in the world they got the crap all the way up on the ceiling in a 12-foot ceiling, or at least 10-foot ceiling. I don't know how high it really was, but I couldn't reach it with my hands. How they got it so high up on the ceiling. I mean, if some of you guys kind of took the outdoor code a little bit of scouting, leave no trace, leave it better than you found it, and treated these places with respect, they might, be okay with you parking places, but you guys can't. You're too self-entitled. If they don't provide a bathroom or a trash can for you, you're so self-entitled that you just, you feel like you ought to protest, I guess, would be a proper term. Throw your trash out on the ground. Like I said, lay your dookie on the ground. I don't know. I don't get some of y'all. And I especially don't get the ones that think they got a finger paint in the bathroom. I mean, I know accidents happen in, places, that's why they got custodial people at these truck stops, different places. That person does not deserve to have to clean up after your nasty thoughts. I remember a kid in kindergarten, or elementary school, I guess. He always thought it was funny to do nasty stuff like pee on the floor, or pee on the toilet, or finger paint. I imagine I don't know, maybe he was a spawn of one of these kids, these guys out here. Maybe he is one of these guys now, I don't know. Man, I have seen pictures of where toddlers have finger painted. I don't think my toddlers ever have, but yeah, that's just nasty. I do believe, there should be federal money put aside, federal and state money put aside to accommodate truck drivers. I do believe in that. But to expect somebody with private property to provide you with parking, the free parking on top of that, I mean, these guys just flip out if, somebody has a piece of property and they want want to charge you to park. We're delivering their goods. We're doing this. We're doing that. I don't know. What are you guys doing to help the homeless veteran situation? They fought to fight, to protect your country that you're doing this stuff in. Maybe you ought to open your doors and let the homeless veterans live in your house for free. I know. Some of y'all will say, them homeless people is nasty. Some of y'all nasty. Maybe you guys pair up good. Here's a beautiful sunrise. Look at some of these guys driving parking lots. Trick step parking lots. Self-entitled front door service. Nice little clippings of debris. A white Western Star just down on the other side of Fireball. He pulled in yesterday. I thought it was Snowball for a minute, but too much of a hood. Heck, the way some of y'all driving these stretched out parking lots, I would blame some people who are not wanting to be driving around the civilians of their town. I'm gonna get off my high horse and go load, I guess. Cold out. I would say they should give us nice warm places to load. I'm entitled to that. I'm a truck driver. It's a bad battery. Yeah. He's still sizzling. Alright, we got one new battery. They were out of warranty, so we went and got one battery. The other one was still good. But an hour and a half later, after I pulled the battery out of the truck, it was still hot, so hot to the touch. But we're done for the weekend. Put this thing back together and go home. Try to stay warm, but y'all stay safe out there. God bless you. We'll catch you later.